Well, toda rabah for watching Jude 3. Thank you so much. Sorry if I have the sniffles. I'm a little bit sick. I just wanted to kind of make just one more video about Tony. I guess it would be my response to some of the comments, some of the other videos I've seen. One thing I saw was that, hey, Tony has PTSD. A lot of people who were in war go to alcohol and they drink, and I understand that. My stepfather, who was in Vietnam, he was in the Special Forces and saw a lot of wartime, a lot, is one of the greatest guys I know. Shout out to Richard if you're watching. So my stepfather no one took care of my mom more than my stepdad. My mom had a major stroke when I was 15 years old, and my stepfather took care of my mother more than anybody I knew. So here's a man that didn't drink all the time. He had the occasional beer, and we smoke a cigar. In fact, if I was at his house today, I'd have a beer and smoke a cigar. But he's not telling children that they have blood on their hands because they're not out door knocking, because they're not off promoting his magazine company. See, it's one thing to recognize someone was in war, and that's why they may go to something like alcohol. I concede to that. I already know that. What I'm saying is I don't feel bad for Tony. I don't. I'm never going to feel bad for a man that has the power to end shunning, which causes suicides, to end child abuse, which ruins lives, to end policies, flip-flop blood doctrines that kill people. I'm not going to feel bad for a man that has the power to do that, and yet he's off drinking or picking up alcohol. He didn't deny. There may be some argument whether his wife drinks, he may not drink. When the man asked him if he knew anything about Irish whiskey, he was like, well, yeah, my wife knows more than I do. So he already I don't think there's too much of a debate that he may drink. Whether it's heavy or not, I don't know. What all that alcohol was for, I don't know. You know what, to be honest, it may not matter because there was no second witness there. So if there's no two witnesses, then Tony might get off with his own stupid policies. This is what I'm talking about. It's these policies that they have put in place that are ruining lives. And here's a man that, his true colors are just being shown. That's all. He's just a regular guy. He's out hiding. He went 23 miles out of the way, a separate state, when people are at meeting typically. To me, you're hiding it. And I think, for someone to feel bad for you, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't think we should feel bad for Tony. I think he is in a position to end ruining so many lives, and yet he won't do it. So until I see, not just reform, but I see him literally acquiesce and concede and say, that was all lies. It was all lies. And I was wrong. Until he does that and says that, I have no reason to feel bad for a man because he may have been in war. I know plenty of people that were in war in Vietnam, and my stepfather's an awesome example of it. And he wasn't mean. He wasn't ever, my stepfather used to take us out shooting. He used to take us rappelling in Connecticut. I have great memories of my stepfather. He never acted the way Tony did, standing there saying, if you have blood on your hands, you're going to lose your life. Because those things aren't true, and they ruin lives, and they scare children. So I just wanted to make a response, just in my opinion, and everyone has the right to have their own opinion. If you feel bad for Tony, then that's what you feel. But this is just my perspective, the way I see things, of the way he acts, the way he treats people, and then, he probably wants people to feel bad for him. That would be perfect. So, for me, I don't feel bad for Tony. What I do feel bad for is the kid that has to go to bed abused tonight, the wife that gets abused tonight, the kid that got shunned in Arizona, just last year, went out to his car, put a gun in his mouth, and shot himself because he couldn't think of any other way out. Those are the things that I feel bad about. Those are the kids that I feel bad about. In this organization, you're either a born in or a join in. I was a join in. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day that I had a great mom and dad, that my stepfather was so awesome. And it wasn't until I was like 16, 17 that I started to get the first wind of the Watchtower. And then I didn't become one until I was like 20, 21. So I wasn't a born-in. I wasn't abused as a child. I was treated with love. I grew up in a nice big house. We had a pool in the backyard. My dad had a boat. We did things that every family should be doing. I had Christmas, I had birthdays, I had all that stuff. And I feel for you kids that have been abused in this organization. And I am not gonna feel bad for Tony Morris. I'm not doing it. Either, he goes to jail for the things that he's done, or recognizes that he's just wrong. But again, I don't want to just keep going on, but for me, I look at the children, the lives, the people that are just crushed. My own life too, but it's different when you're a join-in. I don't feel like, when I exited, I feel like because I was a join-in, it was easier to exit. It wasn't so, I call it the Watchtower hangover. If you're a born-in, man, I can't even imagine what it's like to have the rest of your life that, I call it the Watchtower hangover. People hear trigger words. I don't really have that, and so I'm thankful I don't, and that's why I want to fight so hard and go to the carts and go to the Kingdom Halls and talk to the men, because I think it matters what happens with the rest of your life, and I won't spend one day of mine feeling bad for a man that could end all of it and yet doesn't. Thanks for watching. Jude 3.